Hi guys, my name's Jenny. I'm answering Jamie's challenge. I have PTSD. Mine started when I was 5 years old, when I had a family. Well, actually, my whole family has PTSD. My mom, my sister, my little brother, my older brother, but I don't talk to him anymore. When I was 5 years old, my father decided to do something to the whole family on New Year's Eve that traumatized us all. Nothing sexually. It was more emotional and physical abuse. My brother, older brother, I grew up in a very abusive household. So, beaten, yelled at, verbal and physical abuse basically, until I got 18 and moved out. I've been sexually abused, sexually assaulted actually, off and on since I was 16, and I'm 44 now. 16, I started being sexually assaulted, and I was stalked for 5 years by 3 different men. And a lot of people don't believe me, but that's exactly what happened. One, it got so bad, I had to start dressing like a boy. And this is hard for me to talk to. I'm nervous and shaking, and I want to cry. Because a lot of people don't believe me when I say I was stalked for 5 years by 3 different men, but that's exactly what happened. One of them, I had to dress like a boy. I cut my hair. It was really short, started borrowing my older brother's clothes, walking different, talking lower, acting like a boy. But to stop him. And then every boss I've had has took my friendliness as a come on, and I'm just a naturally nice person. Well, I was, not anymore. At least not to men. They took it as my friendliness and niceness as a sexual come on and wanted more, but I didn't want more. The last time when I was 18, my male boss decided to try to rape. So I decided my sister and my little brother helped me. My sister threatened him with physical violence, and I decided to fake a pregnancy. It worked, because he stopped, at least for a while. And then I got a job as a nurse's aide, and I moved, and I left that business. It was a local pizza joint. I was fine as long as I was in the nursing home. I was starting to heal. I went to therapy, and I wasn't diagnosed with PTSD until I was maybe in my 19 or 20s, and I was seeing the therapist, because I was getting suicidal. I was having flashbacks, nightmares. I wouldn't leave my house except to go to work. I wouldn't shower. I was terrified of having the blinds open, the curtains open. And then I think I've been through so much sexual assault. It's not funny. It's sad, really. I mean, and then I was fine. I was healed. And my husband is wonderful. He is my best friend. It's like God made him for me. I couldn't have met a more perfect man. He gets on my nerves, but he's my perfect man. And when I married my husband, it'll be 15 years this year, in 2002. What I did not know at the time was his father, my father-in-law. We happened to move in with them in their basement. They had the upper half. We had the lower half. Well, I got pregnant with my daughter really fast, but that didn't stop him. For 7 years, I was sexually assaulted by this man. I was sexually propositioned. Actually, you could say I was stalked. He would watch me all the time, stare at me, watch me. And he would get horribly mad whenever my husband and I showed affection for each other. He would listen to us have sex. He only did this when his wife wasn't home. For 7 years, he did that. No one believed me, not even my husband. My family didn't. My religious friends didn't believe me. No one believed me. And I wanted to commit suicide. But I thought, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to put that in my children's heads. How would I explain it to them? And I'm not going to have my nutty mother-in-law have control of my children. So in 2009, my husband got really sick. And we lived in Pennsylvania, and I'm from Ohio. And my husband got really sick to the point where he had to quit work. He got on permanent disability. And I was able to come home. I drove all 500 miles by myself. I don't even remember the trip. I drank so much pop, it was not funny. I drove all the way here, and it was the best decision I could have made for our marriage, because I was ready to go. But I thought a separation would help between John and me. I thought being away and not having any real contact would end his affection for me. Well, I did not know my father-in-law would fall in love with me. I didn't say anything to him. I kept cussing him out. There's only so many go to hells you can say to let a man know you're not interested. I mean, I would cuss him out. I would make fun of him. I would tease him. I would do things to piss him off on purpose and then laugh at him. There's only so many go to hells you can say, or go F yous. So he visited in 2011, and he didn't start the sexual groping until he visited here in Ohio, and not this house, another house we lived in. In the kitchen, he started to be more forward, because this is where I have guilt. I was so here because all the help that was never came, and I was so happy to see them. I hugged him. Now I know a lot of people will say, well, you hugged him, then you must have, what he did to you at your house, you must have gave him some kind of idea you wanted it. No, a hug. If a man cannot understand a simple hug, without thinking anything like, oh, let's get it on. She hugged me. Oh, she must want some. No, I simply hugged him. And I said, I miss you guys, plural, more than one. I met them both, because I knew if they wanted to move here, I would have babysitters. I would have help, legit help. Well, he decided to see how far I was willing to go and decided to grope me. And he got mad because it wasn't reciprocated. I love my husband. I'm in love with my husband. I am a one-man woman. I'm not going to mess with what God gave me. So still no one believed me. No one believed me except my husband finally believed me. And then my daughter has PTSD, and my son. My daughter, and when she was 6 years old, was molested by John. I was not present. I wasn't even in the state. She was having a summer vacation with their grandparents. And he decided to, since she looks just like me, she's a mini me, he decided to test the waters. I can't have the mother. I'll get the daughter. And he molested her only once, and over her underwear. But that was enough for her. So my PTSD is hard for me. There's some days, since school ended in May, I haven't barely left this house. This couch has become my life. My eating habits are down the toilet. I barely go to the gym anymore. I can barely, when I'm outside for long periods of time, I start panicking. I have to go inside. I don't answer the phone much, except it's my mother. It's very hard. I'm not friendly with men anymore, because I have no way of knowing whether they're going to take it to the next level. Hair, cat hair. So that's my story. I didn't think I was going to make one, but I figured, oh, heck, make one. Do it. Something out of your comfort zone. So, that's it. I would like to do a PTSD buddy chat with Jamie, but when he does it, I'm already in bed. I'm in bed by 9. If I'll message Jamie and see if he wants to do it during the day. But even that makes me nervous, because just talking to a man, it just unnerves me. It just sets me off. But I'll try, because maybe my story can help somebody. And that's it. I can't think of anything else to say. That's my PTSD, sexual assault, and child abuse when I was younger, until I moved out at 18. So basically, until I was 18, it was child abuse and sexual abuse, 16 off and on, until I was 23, and then quit until 2002. That's when it started, when I met my husband. Not even 2 weeks after I met him, moved in with his parents. Boom, there it was again. So that's it. Bye, guys.